So this is the Gibson Les Paul 60s in Unburst. This is the AAA flame top model, quite uncommon. Think of it akin to what they used to call the Les Paul Standard Premium Plus or Plus top models. Same principle. So this one, as I say, has had a headstock break that's been beautifully repaired. So I would like to touch on that first, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the guitar, which is ostensibly in ex-demo condition, other than the aforementioned break. So this is the front of the headstock, and there is a very, very faint evidence line when you shine a light on it, just visible, just below the top screw on the truss rod cover. But it's not really visible to the naked eye unless you look very closely. So moving round to the rear of the headstock, you can see it's a gorgeous burst finish applied. That white dot is just glare. Now, you can see in the middle of the screen there is a tiny little evidence mark, and I mean tiny. You can't see it under natural light, really. And there is a very, very small nick to the top of the headstock, unrelated to the repair. Short of that, it's about as invisible as you will get on a headstock repair. Very good indeed. So as we can see, it starts off as a lovely burgundy, bursts wonderfully into a dark wine red cherry kind of colour, and then out into the natural cherry on the back. We also have our stock Grover tuners, which have been given a slight VOS look to them, just dulled a hair, just to give it a bit of a custom shop vibe. I hate that term, but that's the principle. So with that information out of the way, let's take a look at this beautiful guitar. So it's the AAA top model, as I say, with a wonderful quarter sawn two-piece boot match top. What I mean by quarter sawn is the vertical grains running up and down the guitar in perfectly straight fashion, complemented by some lovely pinstripe flame maple. So the Unburst finish is designed to replicate what an old burst would look like. I think your typical cherry, heritage cherry type of burst back in the day. What that would look like once it's been in the sun for a number of decades and that cherry is washed out into this kind of colour on the perimeter. It's a truly gorgeous finish, very popular, and the front is in lovely condition, as this guitar has barely been played. We have our burst bucker pickups. The burst buckers are ostensibly the closest Gibson do to a PAF in the production line. So they're a unbalanced winding as opposed to the classic 57s, which are a balanced winding. Just sound a little bit more authentic. We have our ABR1 bridge, newly reappointed to these original collection guitars. Stock tailpiece. This one's top wrapped, I just think it feels a bit slinkier. All standard electronics. Factory knobs there, the gold reflectors that are silver topped. Gibson 1-ply scratch plate. We have a wonderful dark rosewood board on this one. This This is one of the nicer pieces of rosewood I've seen on a modern Gibson in the last couple of years. Usually they leave a bit to be desired, but again this one's adorned with a really nice piece, trapezoid inlays as you'd expect. Another important point is that the nut is the factory nut, was not lost during the repair, so that remains. The neck, in terms of things extraneous to the repair, is borderline immaculate. We have our thinner historic style binding and your traditional neck heel. Moving on to the back, it's a gorgeous two-piece back. These aren't weight relieved, by the way. Good old-fashioned Les Paul, and this one's got some lovely weight to it. At £9 15 ounces, you can really feel you're playing a proper guitar and not a toy. The back's in lovely condition, there's no buckle rash at all. Very, very, very close to new condition indeed. Another point of note to show this one's been repaired properly and sympathetically is that the serial number is still visible on the top of the headstock for authentication purposes. And just another point of note that this is a full nitrocellulose refinish. So in terms of other bits and bobs, the sides of the guitar are very clean indeed, in line with the rest of it in terms of the body. The case comes with the factory foam spacer, which is kind of a nod to the custom shop cases with a little foam spacer in the bottom. That's why you see a tiny little bit of a gap there. Perfectly normal, as with all new Gibsons in this range. And finally, this guitar comes with its full case candy, so that's your leather strap. As you can see, it's unused, as is the cleaning cloth, never been opened, and the multi-tool, which is sealed and unopened as well, which is all in that bag, along with the baby photo, owner's manual, pre-packed checklist, case keys, etc. And there we have the Gibson case, which is in next to immaculate condition. Given it's a hard case and the exterior is exposed. Lovely satin gold latches on this one. The Gibson printing, all in lovely condition. And as I say, it comes with its keys too.